What I see around me on the outside was applied to me inside my home, but on a small level. And slowly but surely, as I got older, it increased. I remember from the time I was a kid, the parties, the screaming in my house, the talking, the pointing fingers, the busyness, people in and out, all that stuff. I remember it from a long time ago. So it started slowly, step by step, until it became this huge city right around me, a bubble of 4 or 5 miles, with it preceding me if I decide to go to a place that's way further than my usual, errands, the things that I do on a daily basis. So it got bigger and bigger and bigger. But then it got to a certain point where I was put on drugs for 15 years, heavy opiates. These things, guys, they blind you. You don't even look outside anymore. You don't want to know what's happening around you. You're in a good mood. You want to be isolated. You want to watch TV. You want to eat. You want to enjoy yourself at home. All these things. So this girl came and looked at me. As soon as I looked at her with the dog, she realized that I saw the dog. She left. She already came by earlier and then left. That's the function of these people that are around me. She didn't just happen to come out of her house, walk the dog from the back and go to the front of the building. No. But she has to make it look like that's what she did. This is what I'm surrounded with. This has been my pathetic, disastrous life. I had no other way to find out but to actually wake up, get rid of the drugs, decide I really don't want to do them anymore. Something's wrong. I want to figure it out. I want to feel good. I want to build a life. I came back here, my brother, whatever. Then slowly I woke up from all the tension that they put on me. Huge crack war was waged on me to get me addicted to it over the course of 2 years. Didn't work. Because I had already quit the opiates, which is the king of the drugs, the most addictive drug on the planet. If you get addicted to the drug and you can quit it, you're a king. And I was on it for 15 years, guys. It's not like a couple of months. So now that there are no people around, these guys come out. So, guys, from that intense war, and then I realized, hey, wait a minute. This is my brother, and he's treating me this way? Look how long it took me to ask that question. Why is my brother treating me like this? Then I looked around and said, something's not right here. Slowly but surely, I looked around one day down here and I was like, wait a minute, why are people coming out from everywhere towards me? I actually took a look at my surroundings properly and calculated. Now, why did that simple thing that should have happened from the time I was a teenager got delayed so much that I turned 43? That's pathetic for an intelligent, strong guy like me. Because of what was done to me. Because of, it was intentional mind control experiment that was done to prevent me from experiencing a natural life out there that you guys live. Now that I'm talking to you, I've had phone calls, ads, I've had it all on my phone. Just how they want to distract me out here, they distract me on my phone. When I'm on the internet, they distract me on the internet. See, it's getting windy now. Look. Because there are no more animals or people. It wasn't before. I don't know how they activate this thing. I know it sounds weird, but I'm 100% sure of it. Otherwise, I wouldn't mention it. And it's not like this only on certain days that it could be windy. It's like this on any day of the year, guys. As soon as everything that's moving disappears from in front of my face, I get this weird brush of wind. And for a brief time, then it goes away. That doesn't matter, though. These are not unimportant things. The important thing is, it's not the animals, not the wind, not any of that shit. It's the people. I'm a human being. I'm not a grass or an animal or a bird. I don't give a fuck about those things. I care about being around real people and getting out there and getting a job. I can't get a job. Wherever I go, I get pushed away. I went to a place that's called Ability Something Network. That's for people that are on ODSP to help them get a job. Do you know what she said to me in there after I went for an interview, then had to go back there twice, 3 times? No, sorry, so only twice. You know what she said to me? She goes, you have to have experience. We can't help you. You have to go somewhere else. So if a place like that, I can't get through it, you think I'll be able to get through on the internet sending my resume to people when they have everything tapped? So they're bubbling up everything for me. My email, my YouTube channel, my geographical location, everything. Everything becomes a bubble. A complete exclusion from real society. An annihilation from the world. When it comes to people. Well, if you don't have that in your life, then you're dead. You're on an island. Actually, an island's much better than this shit. At least you're not getting bothered by assholes and teased all day long. This is torture island. See, they get people to run away now. Over there, you saw some guy ran, look. Because they can't do them in front of me, so it's not too noticeable. And cars drive in. Because they have to keep creating things in front of me. To keep me distracted. So I don't think of what I really need to do next to come out of this. Because I could do it tonight. I could leave right now and put up with it for a couple of days. Better than staying here for... Actually, wait a minute. Wait a minute. That's a good fucking idea. Since I have to stay here for a couple of days, what do I have here that I won't have there? Food. I have to take food with me that will last me for 3 days. What's today? Let's see. I won't get paid till Tuesday night, early morning, Wednesday. So... that gives me, today's Friday. I won't make it. 5 days with what food? I gotta fill up a bag with cans? It's not enough. So look, there's someone been here the whole time, put the lights on. The whole time he's been here. This is it. The whole time I've been here, there was someone here with me. So it's that bad. That bad. This is not about stalking anymore. This is about owning someone's world. Enslaving someone, owning his life. I go that way. What starts to move and comes out far away? The cat. Look by the mountain over there of sand. Look, now it's gonna move because I'm looking at it. See it move? I'm looking at it. And I'm gonna keep looking at it. It's gonna keep moving. Watch. That's how it is. It's not that it was hanging out there and now that I'm looking at it, it was already walking. It ain't like that, guys. I'm not tripping out, trust me. So anyways, it's not important though. Those things aren't important. It's people that are important. All this shit could happen as long as I have contact with real people. I don't mind it. Hypothetically speaking, it won't happen, but it's something to do with a microchip that I have in me and maybe the environment, the stuff that they have up there, the towers, but I doubt it. The only technology that could work here, so I come back, I see the action happening. It doesn't happen while I'm away over there looking at the cat. You know? And it's done on purpose because it's a desperate move for provocation at a time where nothing's working anymore for this entity. But it's okay. Because they have to resort to extreme measures now in order for them to try to nail me. I'm there. I could see the door. It's ajar. I'm out. And once I'm out into the real world, it's not that this brainwash project didn't work. Do you know how many people live in this city in Toronto that came into my world and pulled that bullshit on me, that are shitting in their pants right now when I come out there? They're gonna worry every time they drive, they bump into me downtown or whatever, because you're dealing with cowards. You're not dealing with human beings. Otherwise, they wouldn't have done what they did to me if they were human beings or real men. But because they're cowards, they think like cowards, and they expect you to think like them, like a coward, even though you're not. The most that I'll do to them is completely ignore them. Because that's what they deserve from the beginning. If I wasn't born into this fucked up family that forced me into meeting them, they're the kind of people in society that I would have said hi and bye if I had to. They're not my color. I'm the color purple, they're the color, I don't know, gray. They would not be in my circles, socializing circles, social circles, work. There's nothing about them that's like me or even in common. We have nothing in common, from the small things to the big things. I would have never been around these people to begin with if I wasn't born into a family that's not mine. So, but that's a way of thinking. A coward's a coward. It doesn't matter. There is no common sense there. There's no thought. There's just fear and quick action. That's the kind of people they are. Tons of people, guys. Over 500 people that I've pretty much had Not just one sitting with them, 5, 10, 20, 30. A lot of them. Some of them, they've traveled to other countries and saw me, my so-called ex-friends that never, those are the guys that are shitting in their pants out there. And the business that I built up in the mid-90s that was stolen from me, they're the ones who stole it. So they're sitting out there with all these millions now. They're terrified because I know that they're the ones who did it to me. So this is where we stand. Here's the cigarette warfare again. Right? This is where we stand. They are terrified. But if a guy like me, under these extreme circumstances that I've been through in the last year, has not been provoked into hitting someone or doing something stupid, do you think I'm going to do that out there when I'm relaxed and happy? But what are they worried about? If I can nail them in a different way. Because that's the way they think. That's what they do. What they don't know is my maturity is so up there that when I do get to the real world, I'm not going to have time to even know that they exist. Not even a second, because it would be a waste of my time. Or even remember that they ever existed, because that would be a bigger waste of time for me, because I'm that kind of person. Because I'm going to concentrate on important things, not stupid people that do things out of stupidity, regardless of their age. So, my friends, this is one of the, I know I've been saying that a lot lately in the last month, one of the last videos, but, it's a process. It takes time, It's a process, and it's going to take time. See, a bug almost went into my eye. Now I remember all these years in my life, in the past. You know how many bugs went into my eyes? Maybe 100 in the last 10 years. Why? Because it gets windy and the bugs fly. Something attracts those creatures to me, just like it does with people. It's something to do with this microchip. I don't know how it's designed. And, I've always had problems that way, things going into my eye. Not once or twice or 3 times on a regular basis. It didn't make any sense. Look how big the space is. Why would this little thing go right into my eye? You know what I mean? Anyways, that's not important. These are irrelevant things that are not important. That won't change a thing for me. What's important is meeting real people. Being able to get a job and working in a place with real people. Because if you don't have that, then you have nothing. You're dead. If you're surrounded with a bunch of circus animals trained to come there and annoy you and piss you off, it's a nightmare world. It's fucking chocolate factory, man. It's bullshit. And this is the most important thing here. So this bubble that's stable around me with no real people in the buildings, tenants, no real people in the houses, just a bunch of people that work on this show and me, and with the cars and everything come and stay here and there when I come out, so I can see the illusion of tenants in the houses and buildings, made me realize that this stable bubble around me that's 4 miles moves when I go somewhere out of my area, out of my daily routine. It has to precede me into those other places to keep this fake world for me, not to go there and see something completely different, go, what the fuck's going on here? And it did that to me, not only in certain areas in the same city or the same country, it traveled with me to other countries. Because they knew I was going to go there from my internet searches, from me mentioning something to someone, and there they went and prepared it in that country with the locals. So by the time I got to the airport, which was fake, the chartered plane was ready, fake. The airport that I got there in that country was fake. And back into that hotel in that city or that country where everyone was still circus animals like the ones I've lived with in my own home. That's how this project was made. That's how it was done. This whole animal circus thing, It's the only way to do it. They have to do it that way, because if it's not that way, it won't work. So I woke up last year, 11 months ago, and I started to wake up to small things. This is not my brother. That's not my mother. That wasn't my father. You know what I mean? That's not on my mother's side, on my dad's side, those aren't my family, they're not my cousins, that's not my aunt. And then over here, these people around me are not real. And then when I go downtown, these nurses in this hospital aren't real. These doctors aren't real. That's a fake court session. Slowly but surely, I realized in the end, even the buildings that are around me or the houses, those are all not real. You know? And that's how it works, guys, you know? It's amazing, but it's a process, step by step. So, anyways, this has been the last 42, 43 years of my life like that, and now I realized how I could escape this miserable world. And they know it too. It got to a point where they realize exactly how, you know that I can escape it. So they're trying to take extra measures in order, you know, not to let me do it. But in the end, they're not going to be able to do jack shit. You know what I mean? So I'm pretty much at the screaming but they have to stress you. They have to lower that fiery energy, throw little icicles in it with the cruisers, the people outside, the people at the back, the kids screaming. These are all distractions and annoyances. Now, these things could happen in a normal setting, but there it would be different. Not like this. People pacing, and it's obvious that there's too much commotion when I get there, too much movement. It's like things are paused. As soon as I get there, they go on play. But you could see it. So now that I know how to escape it, I'm ready, I'm capable. In a couple of days, let's see what happens. Nothing's gonna happen. What's gonna happen? I'm gonna be irritated with no cigarettes for the next couple of days. That's it. And then when I get the money, I'm gonna escape it. But there's nothing they can do. Nothing, zero. What are they gonna do? They tried to get this guy in my building to lie to me once and sold me a really strong drug. I didn't even know what I was smoking, almost died. I passed out for 3 days. I didn't die, so I had a strong body, and it's the strongest drug on the planet. That could kill anybody. Anyways, what else? They tried to provoke me in 6, 7 establishments about 2 months after my awakening last year, wintertime. I woke up in September. By November, December, I got kicked out of the bank, Food Basics, the gym. Everywhere I go, I get provoked, teased. Everywhere. What else? So provocation. What else? Drugs. What else is there? Everything, guys. Every single tactic in the book was played on me in order for me to not to get to this point of realizing how I can come out of this nightmare world and have the abilities to do it. Everything was taken into consideration, everything. But it didn't work because I'm resilient, I'm persistent, I'm decent, I know how to fight properly, I don't make mistakes. I think everything through 10 times before I do it. I calculate, I don't just jump into any water. I have to realize, do all my necessary calculations to find out if the temperature is good enough for me to jump in it. I'm the kind of guy that would do more than enough preparation, but when I do take the first step forward, it's usually a quick KO. I'm that kind of guy. I don't play around. I don't even do technical knockout. It's not my style. I'm pure knockout kind of guy. I don't do nothing. I sit there and take the punches, but when I decide to stand up, I'll take out my sword and cut off heads. It's who I am. I've always been this way. I'm designed that way. It's my genealogy. You know? So they've done the impossible to try to psychologically and emotionally provoke me into something or get to me in so many different styles. Guys, it's been a year. I've been going through this. I guarantee you that most people out there will not handle a week of this stress. I lost about 25 pounds, 26 pounds in 6 months. I can almost see my bones. I'm not that kind of guy. I've always been muscular and big, not just muscular. You know, I lost my muscles. I could see my bones, for God's sakes. Six-pack, I've had a six-pack before, but not like this, bony. So, this is the kind of guy I am, and they know it. This is an entity that's been watching me since I was a little kid. So they know exactly the kind of person I am. And they know when I really know what's going on and when I really can do it. And now they know that I can't do it. I figured it out. So, what are they gonna do? Go to my house, steal fingerprints of something, go plant them somewhere and get some guy to kill some guy and blame me for it? I mean, guys, I've had my own brother that tricked me my whole life and has done the biggest number on me. Sleep with me in the same apartment last week, overnight. Obviously, if he came to do that, he could trust me. He wouldn't do it, you know what I mean? Otherwise, he wouldn't even dare. But that shows you what kind of guy I am. If I were to do anything stupid, the first two people I would have hurt would have been my mother and brother, because they're the ones who enslaved me into this shit before these people out there, before we even came to this country. And my so-called father, who died already in 2004 of cancer. And they made sure that he would die right in front of me. They already found out that he had cancer from Lebanon. So what did they do? They brought him over here to die over here so I could see all those depressing images. Guys, look at my teeth. Do I look like the kind of man who would ignore his teeth? I've had dentists do intentional bad work on my teeth that cracked my teeth in half and put pins in there and capped them. So 2-3 years later, they'd rot and they'd fall out. It was done by, in Lebanon, this doctor, I even remember his name. He had this weird Lebanese guy with a German last name. Daniel Kraus Werner, his name. I could even tell you his address where his clinic is. He ruined all my teeth on purpose. Why? For you to stay miserable. All the tactics that were applied on me in my life, it's a science to keep someone miserable. Including this fake world that's around me. Everything in it is designed to make me miserable. To try to make me look at certain things. People are giving me certain looks. You know, to keep you in this realm of disaster and misery and fakeness. But once I realized that it's all fake, it stopped working on me. You just had to have enough strength in you to resist all the temptations into thinking the bad thoughts and doubting what you're doing. Now I see weird cars from the 50s. Distractions. You know? So they know now. They know I'm ready. You know, you could feel it in the air, the energy that I'm sensing every time I pass by them. They know that it's finished. I figured it out. You know? So they could do whatever they want. Look at them prepped over there to walk through, but they're not going to do it because I'm filming. They were going to... Normally, if it was something, they come out now. All these guys are all that group waiting to do the dance. So, yeah, guys. They're still trying to come out, but I'm looking at them. If I look at them from far away, they won't. It's if I don't notice them, I just see them in front of they end up in front of my face, then they do it. So now I'm not looking at them. Let's see if they come out. I'm looking this way. Look. That's how the setting becomes. Look, lemon. Dirt, cups, empty packs of cigarettes because I ran out everywhere now. For psychological warfare, dirt, Kleenex. Look, guys, people in this area are not pigs. All right? This is all done intentionally to keep my environment depressing, dirty. It's a science that was applied on me all my life. Guys, when I was a kid, from 5 years old to about 7, I've seen every single woman in my family naked. Every single one. There's about 100 of them. And it happened by chance. Oh, I would walk into the bathroom and they're completely naked and bent over and they're like, oh my God, and they close the door, you know, kind of thing. If it was only one or two instances, I'd say it's coincidence. All of them. I've had some that had conversations with me while they're squatting on the old Arabic toilet where I could see their fucking pussy hair for half an hour when I was 5 years old. Excuse my language. But that's the idea, how you control someone's mind from the time they're a kid. All you can make them think about the whole time is sex, drugs, and vices, so they stay destroyed and weak, depleted. Not on a normal scale, heavily and intensely. It's around them 24/7. After I see that woman up there, I go down to the other house. I hear two people having sex in the room. After I finish that, I go downstairs to have a smoke with my buddy. He tells me these stories about sex. But it's this environment that surrounds you that keeps feeding you this information constantly to keep you from within that realm. You know? It has to keep you there. It can't be just a took 2 seconds. It doesn't work. This science is light. It's like small little needles. They have to be consistent and for a long time. Consistency and length of time. That's what works. That's what makes it work over time. The second day, the third day, the fourth day, then you start to feel it. It's not something that can happen right off the bat. The first day, there's another one here. You know what I mean? So it's not like a sword cutting someone's head off. See, everyone's gonna love smokes in front of me now. Watch, I won't get one. So it's, you know, the effects start to happen after maybe 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks. You'll feel miserable. That's what happened to me back in the mid-90s, you know? And that's how it is. And then after a couple of months, you find yourself drowning in shit. I remember back in 96, 97, it started on a gradual basis. It didn't just hit me all at once. You start to get dim. Your environment gets dimmer and dimmer. My life got emptied and less people around me. At the same time, more people around me on the outside, strangers. Less close people that I knew, they went away. And the people that I didn't know came closer. Busyness, noise. The apartment we were in on the second floor, I showed you guys. The apartment. On the street, where the lobby entrance is right in front, there's a school on the corner of that street. Noise every day. People buzzing, coming in and out of the building. Not by chance, on purpose, in and out. That start the noise machine for me. Slowly but surely, gradually. Until it became a huge fucking city a factory of noise. You know, my own apartment was designed that way. The sink keeps on dripping water all night. The bathroom, there's this lady downstairs that keeps on opening and shutting off the faucet. My brother, so-called, was angry once. He punched the doors, put holes in them, so I can hear the noise more, even if I shut the door. That's how sneaky they are. There's 10,000 holes from the wall that separated my room and my mother's room because she was so-called schizophrenic. She would talk all night. Her schizophrenia, its characteristics were shutting and opening windows hard, talking all night, flushing the toilet 10,000 times, pacing back and forth, making noise with the spoon while she ate. It was fucking brutal, the attack on me. But how could you see that when you're from within them, thinking they're your parents, and it just hits you? All I know is I was okay. Everything was stolen away from me. The girl, the car, everything. My friends disappeared. All of a sudden, I'm drowning in shit. I'm depressed. I can't move. I can't think. 6 months later, my brother introduces me to these pills. He said, try it. It'll make you feel better. After they kept on talking to me for 6 months about people killing themselves to make me kill myself. I didn't do it. And then I take this pill, and I feel the happiest man on earth. It was an opiate. It was a Percocet. And then after that, we had to find a way to get this doctor to prescribe them to me. And obviously, they made him available. And that's why I got hooked on these drugs. But then I decided to quit them 15 years later. And I came back here, and I got to this point now, this huge awakening. You know? So, I don't know, guys. I mean, you're talking about, maybe it's been about 2015, I quit those things. So now it's 2019. Wheelchairs, cut off legs, walkers, canes. That's all I see all day long. Doesn't matter whether it's around my building, downtown, or at a nightclub. People with Down syndrome, everything that is not a positive thing to a human being. It's considered to be a disability. It's negative things. It's supposed to be so negative, your environment, to keep you dim, depressed, miserable. This is how this fake world was constructed from the beginning. In my own family, I remember about talking to me about disgusting things. Guys, we went in Lebanon to a house for summertime. People that have money in Lebanon, what they did is back in the days, they always had a chalet on the beach and a house in the mountains because it's cool, because Lebanon's very hot in summertime. So we used to have one in the mountains, one on the beach. The one in the mountains, they specifically rented one on top of a butcher. A butcher. Guys, in Lebanon, they don't fucking kill cows like they do here. They slice their throat wide open. They hold them. And I remember, specifically, they used to bring me out there for me to look at sites like these. I was 10 years old. To see this poor animal being held with all four corners of his legs and his throat slit. And the animal kicking and kicking, you know, sort of spitting the blood out. So they made sure I'd see something like that. And that's besides all the other stuff that they put me through. All of it, all the other stuff. It was brutal. I always had girls in my class that would make me feel their tits when I was 8, 9. I got raped when I was like 10 by this 14-year-old girl that was supposed to be my friend's sister. It was fucking brutal. But those things give you a different idea about human nature. When you grow up with these surroundings that are fake and specifically designed to keep you dismantled, you think different, you act different, and they keep that environment around you, this fakeness. It changes the way you feel. It makes you miserable. There's no nurturing, no real contact, no emotional support, none of that. Now, I know a lot of people grow up in families that get abused too. They grow up in families where, you know, some women, poor girls, their fathers rape them or whatever, or some kids, they're abused, they get beat, or, you know, I mean, these things do happen, but this is a completely different situation. This is a huge project done by an agency, an entity that wants to test subjects for mind control and brainwash from the time they're kids, to see if they accept their surroundings, even though they're miserable, torturous, to see if they, you know, they would actually put up with them, or they would find how fast they'd find out if they're fake. That's the whole point of doing this project. You pick a very strong special specimen that can handle it, and then if it works, you apply it on the whole planet on a lesser intense scale. That's what they do. And guys, all the big projects, all the big experiments, especially the evil ones done, even though the States took prize for the last 100 years as it's a superpower, all the evil experiments were done in Canada. Not all of them, but most of them. Because Canada is the back door where they can hide things. It's supposed to be a safe country, peaceful and everything. They want to hide shit here. That's where they shit. They don't do it in the States because if the story comes out, they'll be in deep doo-doo. Canada's known for that. Look it up. Look how many evil experiments were done by German Nazi scientists that were brought over here after World War II. And there's huge stories on those things. You know what I mean? They've been doing this for forever. So my evil experiment was done here in Toronto. It started in 1990 when we came here, and now it's